the second chance bracket. We're not giving up on you bracket. All right, so here we are, Talaska and Ahmad. Talaska and nice job by Talaska. Final chicane in the front grips. Talaska dialing in. Ahmad a little bit loose, and you can see him shutting it down. So Talaska.
What is up, guys? It is Cory Talaska. We are back here for another overdue vlog. I haven't had a video in like a month plus. We've been doing a lot. We've been going crazy, but some things. My dad and I, we went to 2 PROAM events, and it was just us at them, and my mom came to the first one, but we were maxed out. I was focused, I was stressed, I didn't film it all. I will from now on, now that I kind of got my head in the game a little bit. I feel a little bit more comfortable with my driving and everything. So don't worry, we'll be filming from now on, making sure to get content out to you guys, my sponsors at Condor, which you can obviously see. We got a nice banner here, and sponsors out to all those guys, and just my own media, you know. So I feel really good about that. I'm sorry I haven't posted in a while, but here is, we're gonna update you. I'm gonna update you on Hyperfest, in between Hyperfest and the first round 1 of East10 Pro-Am. So let's do it. All right, so jumping into this first section right now is Hyperfest. I'm gonna try not to run too long on this, but basically, it rained all day Friday practice. Friday we had all day practice. It rained all day. We didn't get a single dry run. Saturday, no practice. We jumped right into tandem battles. No practice. It was dry. Very few people even drove in the dry on Friday. I was trying to get dry runs, but it started raining before I got to the front of the line, so it was crazy. Our first tandem battle, car was not proper. Something in the car was not right. We didn't know what it was yet, but I went out there, tried to slide the car, and it just straightened out. I had down on power, too much rear grip, a facade of things, and I was like, it's got to be grip. I didn't think misfire right away because it didn't sound like it. It doesn't feel like it. It was just down on power, and I was like, we got to have too much grip in the car. Remember, we had that whole Fortunato new setup in the car. Lost the rear sway bar, a bunch of stuff like that. Moving on, we had about 5 hours in between battles, our first battle and our second battle, because at this event we had to lose twice to get knocked out, which was our saving grace. So we swapped our entire rear end. We dropped the whole rear end. So that was an adventure. We pulled out the proper fab upper control arms, pulled out the Fortunato stuff, put the BC rear divorce setup back in, put the rear sway bar in, the spring purchase, all that stuff. And then we went back out on the track for our second battle. Our opponent's car broke, which was our savior, because we were able to get basically a practice run and a buy run at the same time. It was in the dry. We went out there. The car definitely, it slid a little bit better because we took so much grip out of the rear, but that was our telling, like, something's wrong. We don't have a lot of power. I was barely able to link the track. It was a super sketchy run. I did not feel good about it at all. But now, since we technically won that battle, it put us into Sunday, into the next round of tandem battles. We're still in the losers bracket because we won our first battle. So jumping into Saturday night, we were like, we got to figure this out. We pulled the plugs. We found water in cylinder 5 and 6, not in the cylinders, but like between the coil packs and the plugs. Like, that's our misfire. I called my tuner, Jordan at RK Tunes, and he was like, that's got to be it. We're like, we need more toe adjustment. So on the fly, I had some crappy bushings in here. I put, right before the event, Carlos from Condor sent me the brand new rear trailing arm bushings, the offset ones. So we got those in. We changed the plugs, we cleaned everything out, we reset the computer just to kind of clear everything out and start fresh. Sunday morning, right into tandem battles, no practice. We were the first battle of the day. We jumped out there, and I was just sent it in the corner. I was like, the car's gonna work, I have faith in it, and it did. We had way more power. We had our full like 500 to the wheels. We were in boost, it stayed in boost. I was able to play with the throttle and still bring it back up. The car, we probably could have had a little bit of that grip back in that we took out, but we were rolling with it. We were like, this is working right now, we're gonna make it happen. First battle, I had a really good lead run. That was my first like real dry lead run, basically run at all. Our fall run, we were doing really good. The guy in front of me spun out, and I didn't want to win my first battle like that, but We won it anyway, put us into the next part. Right after that, we were up against Mike Perez, a dude that I've looked up to. I mean, his car is sick. He works with Rad Dan, one of my favorite FD drivers. And so I sent it out for the lead run. We had my best run of the entire weekend. The lead run was super good. We filled all the zones. Robbie Nishida told me that the run was one of the best he's seen all day as far as a lead run, and I was super hyped on that, which I'll show you guys that right now.
We got Talaska and Perez. Talaska initiates early with that BMW. Perez did the burnout, did the exhaust out. Talaska. Well done by Talaska, Perez.
So there's the lead run. Mike had a pretty good follow. So it was definitely something that I had to back up pretty well. And I sent it in as a follow. We were running pretty good. I was a little bit too far back, but coming into that first inner clip, I was totally blinded by smoke. He checked up more than I thought he would have because he was cruising pretty fast all day. I doored him. That's pretty much all there is to it. I was full lock. I bent my left front control arm, the pivot pin, my shock body, all this stuff. His door went in, his cage, his rocker. I mean, stuff got messed up. It was a really unfortunate situation. That got us knocked out, of course, because the contact, our car was done. I had to get towed off. And that was Hyperfest in a bundle. Basically, after this, I got flamed on the internet for hitting a Supra for a pretty long period of time. And it'll probably be a meme for... I actually don't know if I'll ever live that one down. Every event that I go to, everyone I talk to, they bring up about, oh, this is that BMW that just crashed into Mike Perez's Supra. Sorry, Mike.
Perez always smoking, man. I think it's always kicking out some smoke. Here we go. Now it turns on the smoke machine.
But everything's good now. He got his car fixed. I got my car fixed. Now we're on to East 10. Before East 10, I have to give out the most massive thank you to SLR. First of all, as soon as I switched to their stuff last year, I was like, this is the best angle kit. I have so much control. I have so much adjustment. Everything feels amazing. I bent that control arm at Hyperfest. I got on the phone with Paul from SLR, and I was like, I know you guys are sold out. I know you guys are maxed. I was like, I will do whatever it takes to get a kit overnighted to me so I can run the first PROAM event. And they worked with me. We got it figured out. They zombified, like Frankensteined a kit for me together, different colors, all the stuff, and they got it out to me, and my car was fixed in the matter of days, and I cannot thank them enough. All right, jumping into East 10. We went there Friday night. They called it the State of Drift. They ran the Long Beach setup backwards, so no one had an advantage, and it was fun. It was dry for a bit. It was rain. I got the tandem with Tyler Garlatz, I think it's how I say his name, a little bit on Friday, who I ended up battling the next day, which is pretty cool. And the car felt really, really good. We tuned a little bit more grip back in it. We adjusted some fine-tuned some things. We left the same gear in. The car felt good. I was confident. We jumped right into Saturday. Saturday was sick. The practice in the morning was pretty long, and it was one of those practice qualifying. So the judges were judging us based on our huge practice section. So I got to drift with a bunch of guys, got to tandem, got to do a bunch of solo runs. The Long Beach setup that they had felt really cool. It was fast. It was the track, the parking lot at ZMAX, where they had it set up, was like a racetrack. It was super smooth. It was really easy on tires. It was just a lot of fun. We laid down some rubber, so it was really cool. That's so cool. I'm sure that was based off of, we had some really, really good lead runs. I talked to Human after, Human Rami. I think that's how I say his name. I'm sorry if it's not right. He's a Pro 2 driver. He said you were one of the first guys to go out there and fill all the zones, and that was definitely a factor, which is really cool. So 5th was awesome. We had some decent tandem runs, and we had some not so decent tandem runs. Some follows were kind of spotty, but I was trying to bang in as much seat time as possible because that was the most tandem practice following that I've ever had, and it was so good for my mental state and my actual driving ability. So we qualified 5th. So luckily, since there was 24 drivers or about there, they started with the top 32 bracket. We got to buy the first run. Super cool. It jumped us right into top 16. Our top 16 battle went one more time, but we came out with the win, and we won that battle because of our lead run. The lead run laid it down. Our follow run was not terrible, but my competitor just was a little bit bobbly on his lead run, so we got that win. I honestly didn't. I thought he was the better driver, but they pointed the finger at me, and I was like, let's move on. We're in the top 8. I mean, this is in my mind, even though Hyperfest was my first PROAM event, that event was so crazy. So round 1 of East 10, it was starting off really good. We qualified 5th. We got to buy into the top 16. We won our top 16 battle, even though it went one more time. Our top 8 battle was another intense one. We went against a kid we were actually pitting with, and that run is on Instagram somewhere, so I will link that in the description. I don't personally have the video, but I'll link that. And we went against him, and it was awesome. It was a really good run, both lead and follow by both of us. We came out with the win on that one. In the top 4, top 4 battle was against someone that was really good. He was killing it all day. I had a really good lead run. It was one of my better lead runs, but his follow was so good. He was right on my door the whole time. He had a lot of control. My follow was a little bit back. He made a lot of smoke with his car, and but he was really smooth and he was fast, and I couldn't drive up to him. I needed to have a little bit more grip. The Kendas weren't the exact tire I should have been running on that track. But he came out with the win. We had still had one more battle for top 3, and that was against Tyler from Misfit Motorsports, and that was the most fun battle of the day. I led first. I went out there, and it was probably my best lead run of the day. I filled the first outer zone, the second outer zone, the third outer zone. I got really close to the touch and go, and on the little hairpin, the only interclip, we got that. I felt super, super good. I was like, okay. But my dad told me through the radio, he's like, you had a killer lead run, but his follow run was really, really good. And I saw him. He was always somewhere in my peripherals. And I was like, I knew he was going to be a tough one to come back. So all day, my follow runs were getting better and better and better. I was getting more confident, a little bit more aggressive. And so in my follow run, I sent it in, but as soon as we hit initiation, I knew I wasn't on him close enough. I was like just a few cars back, and I pretty much stayed there the whole time. He had a really clean lead run as well. So he got the podium, he got the 3rd place. It was well deserved. I hope we get to battle again in competition at round 2 in Bristol. But East 10, Louis, Human, those guys, they put on a great event. I'm so glad that they filled the gap in the Southeast Pro-Am stuff. It felt really good to drift with all those guys. Everyone was nice. I have to thank Don Sprinkle a ton for being my hot grid man. So he was doing my air pressure and stuff where we were out there getting ready to go. And the event as a whole was a huge confidence booster for me after coming out of Hyperfest and crashing the car, having to fix stuff. We went to East 10, didn't smash anything up in the car, had the most fun I've ever had at a drift event. We got to tandem. We made it all the way into the top 4, finished 4th place, put us 4th in points, set up for the good part of the year. And I mean, that is the conclusion. I'll show you one of the runs from my top battle for 3rd. I'll show you that, and then you guys saw a bunch of my practice runs. So. this had to be like a talking update video. I wish it could have been more exciting, but this is getting us caught up. This is getting you guys caught up to what's going on. Follow me on Instagram. I post on there almost every day. I post stories about what I'm doing all the time. So that's the best outlet to always keep up with me, but I am gonna try as my best to keep up with this YouTube stuff. I feel confident now where I can film at the track and know that I'm still focused in the competing, and I'm ready for this season. This is gonna be fun. I'm already thinking about next season, so thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Instagram. Check out my Facebook. I don't really post much on Twitter, but I will start to, so check me out in there. And thank you guys for following. Thank you guys to all my sponsors, for Condor, Lewd Complex, 720 Wheels, my dad. Huge help to him. I wouldn't be able to do this without him, so thank you guys. Peace.